What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today I've got pretty good news about the Digimon card game Grand Prix. You see, we talked about the Grand Prix a little while ago at this stage, and long story short, it is one of the coolest, most exciting things that the Digimon TCG have done so far, and they just seem to be expanding it and doing more, and this is awesome. So, the Grand Prix, what actually is it? Well, basically, it's a bunch of competitions. And they're online competitions, done with webcams and all of that. But they are so much cooler than before. Now, they're also not particularly cheap. They are pretty expensive. We'll get to the prices in a moment. But when you enter the Grand Prix, and it's very much Old Force Digimon themed, when you enter, you get 4 Vmon cards. Now, this is just a reprint of the Vmon from BT2. It's got an inheritable skill that when this Digimon becomes unsuspended during a main phase, you draw 1. But given that Old Force Digimon cards generally unsuspend, that's kind of one of their hooks. This seems like a pretty cool card indeed. And you get a playset of the alternate art of them. And you get an alternate art playset of the Ray of Victory. And as I say it, I realise I'm wrong here. This isn't an alternate art playset. This is just a stamped playset. Now, even the alternate arts are stamped, and maybe it's just me, but I kind of love when they stamp alternate art cards. They could just be alternate art. They could just be stamped. Alternate art and stamped. Baller move, I am loving it. But either way, you get a playset of stamped Ray of Victory. So you get a playset of Vmon, the playset of Ray of Victory, and you get yourself a set of 50 Old Force Digimon sleeves, and you get yourself a playmat. Now, the playmat I am loving. It is brilliant. I love having the level 3, 4, and 5 on the left-hand side, and then the level 6 taking up the main part of the playmat. That is just a beautiful way to do this artwork, and I am loving it. And I think this playmat is just unashamedly amazing. What I am not loving is the sleeves. Now, it's not because they're not beautiful. They are beautiful sleeves. And they are shiny, and they've got Old Force Digimon, and they've got the artwork that matches Old Force Digimon. We'll get there in a moment. There is a lot to love about this. However, it's 50. Stop doing 50 sleeves in a pack. It is a waste of time, because Digimon card decks are 50 cards. Which means if I get a set of 50 sleeves, the second I break or mark one, the entire set of sleeves is garbage. I mean, they're still cool for collecting and all of that, but you can't actually use them anymore. 50 card decks need to come with 55 sleeves. When you buy official Pokemon sleeves, they generally come in packs of 65, and the reason is that Pokemon decks are 60 cards, so that you've got 5 spare, so when you break sleeve number 6, then you're out. And honestly, by that stage, right, you've broken 6 sleeves, get over it. But at least until then, you're good. And that's kind of my point here. I think we need to just get in the habit of putting some spare sleeves. Even 52. I would take 52 here. Because the second you break a sleeve, you're out. I'm sorry, that's rubbish. I don't like it. But just for entering, you get your playmat, your set of sleeves, and your 8 promos, your 2 playsets. That's really cool. Now, it actually goes up very slowly from there. Top 64 gets you your alternate art Digimon, and you only get 1 of these. Now, again, while you got a blue tamer in play, you gain jamming. It is cool in any deck, and honestly, any blue deck that plays tamers, this is a really cool card. Jamming means you won't be deleted by security Digimon, so having a Digimon that can essentially take a free swing at the security is awesome. You'll still be suspended and can be deleted next turn by your opponent and all of that, but the fact that you can almost have a free swing at the security is brilliant. And especially in like Rookie Rush decks, having something that can evolve once and have jamming is clearly an awesome option. But you get 1 of them for making top 64, and that's still cool, but getting a playset's going to be tough. Make it to top 32, you get Aero Digimon. Again, we are just reprinting the entire line from BT2. All of this is just reprints of the line from BT2. And Aero Digimon, when you're Digivolving, if you got a blue tamer in play, you unsuspend one of your blue Digimon. I did tell you that Old Force Digimon kind of loves the whole unsuspending thing. And then you've got an inheritable skill. When this Digimon becomes unsuspended during your main phase, it gains jamming. So again, you've got jamming and unsuspending and all of that stuff. We're starting to see a pattern. But then there's nothing for top 16, and the prizes end at top 8 with All-Force Digimon. Now, that's not to be particularly negative. All-Force Digimon is a great super rare card from BT2, and the only way to get this artwork is by making top 8 at a Grand Prix. Now, as a side note from Wassy here, this is brilliant, because, well, twofold. But one thing I really like is that it's an alternate art. And I have made absolutely no secret whatsoever on this channel that I am not a fan of exclusive promos. Because if exclusive promos become good, and it is really difficult to predict what's going to become good and what's not, because there's always going to be new cards released in the future, but if an exclusive promo becomes good, then you end up in this super awkward situation where the cards are expensive and difficult to get hold of, and it just ends up not being particularly good for fans. But we've already got the regular art of All-Force Digimon. For what it's worth, we've also got the alternate art from BD2 of All-Force Digimon. This is just a third different artwork of the same card. So, you don't need this. As a player, this is an entirely inessential card. However, it's got exclusive alternate artwork and a stamp, so it's going to be great for collectors. And that is absolutely brilliant. Now, there's nothing above top 8. There's nothing on the same line as, say, the Omnimon that you get for making top 2 in an Evolution Cup. And to be clear, at the moment, the Omnimon and the All-Force Digimon, they are going to be the two big cards in the Digimon TCG, as well as the super-duper rare white Omnimon from BT6 that we've still not had confirmation is going to be in our Double Diamond. But having said that, we get the same sets as Japan. Weirdly, BT7 did not have some weird super hyper equivalent rare, which is really strange to me. But yeah, those are like the big three cards. So this is going to be a card which is going to be extremely sought after and very difficult to get. Oh, there's also that War Greymon. Yeah, there's also the War Greymon promo that did come along as a tournament prize as well. So yeah, that one as well. I think that was a top 8 prize if I remember correctly. But you'd get what I'm going for, right? It is these alternate art prize cards. They are like the big cards in the Digimon TCG. And the good news is that basically Digimon are just keeping going. So we knew there were going to be some offline Gen Con tournaments. There are 3 different tournaments. It looks like 6, but there's regular and there is VIP. So do bear in mind that there are really just 3 tournaments. But there were 3 offline tournaments, and that is clearly a wonderful thing. We wanted these Grand Prix to be more available. We wanted more spaces. We wanted to be able to take part. And it's happening. And yes, I know they're sold out and they're full and all of that. I'm sorry, but they're there. And there are a bunch that are happening in Europe as well. Now, in Europe, it's a little bit weird. You have to be really clear which country you're entering from. But if you are in Italy, there's one event. In Spain and France, there's another. And for countries outside Italy, Spain, and France, there is a third. Why are they doing that? Easy. It is because they've got limited capacity. It is for logistical reasons of actually running the tournament. And by splitting it up, they think they can run 3 events, which are probably going to sell out and be quite popular, without having essentially the same people getting into all 3 events and other people not being able to take part. Clearly, this is an excellent, 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 excellent thing. If you're into the Digimon TCG, this is definitely something you should be hyper excited about, because these are basically extremely cool. Now, again, if we look at the prizes, we're only talking about alternate art prizes and then accessories. So you don't need to enter. You just don't. But if you want to enter, these are extremely cool. Now, it is important to note that there is actually a 2-tier entry. The regular entry is €55 and comes with what I showed you before, the playmat, the sleeves, and the alternate art. You can, however, pay an extra €40, and that extra €40 gets you an Imperial Demon Dragon Mode playmat and sleeves. Now, once again, We are talking a pack of 50 sleeves, not anymore. And once again, I refer you to my previous statement that giving you a pack of 50 sleeves for a card game that plays with 50 card decks is less than ideal because you kind of want some spares. But that doesn't really matter. It's still just cool stuff, right? Maybe it's just me being a little bit grumpy. My point here is this is awesome. And it's happening. And it's here. We wanted these Grand Prix to come around. Well, they are now coming around, ladies and gentlemen. They are now coming around, and this is absolutely brilliant. And hopefully, this is gonna keep happening. And there are going to be more that you can enter in the near future, and it's just more proof that Digimon and Bandai care. It is more proof that they are going out of their way to make sure that these events are out there. Yes, I know that a lot of them are selling out, and yes, I know that a lot of you out there may end up being disappointed and not able to get in all the tournaments. I completely understand that, and I get the frustration. But I don't think at this stage anyone can really say Digimon aren't trying. Because I showed you just the other day how they've increased the capacity for the September Evolution Cups. Now they're bringing these online tournaments, these Grand Prix for everybody. And this is awesome. Firstly, it's excellent tournaments to enter. That's good news. But secondly, it just bodes well for the future. Because it means there's almost certainly going to be more opportunities. And this is absolutely wonderful. But now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you think about this. I want to know basically anything you want to tell me. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far, the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.